Hey everyone, this is James. Most of you guys know I do a lot of photography and a lot of videography, and in today's post I'm going to mix things up a little bit and show you some behind the scenes of how I correct audio for a wedding. There's two things that come with this. One is experience. I've been doing this for years, and an experienced wedding videographer will know about this. And secondly, brides, couples, this is a great question to ask your wedding videographer or whoever you're trying to kind of zero in on. I encourage you to meet with them, ask them questions, and this can be one of the questions that you can ask them, and I'll clue you in on if they respond a certain way, if that's a big or not. Okay. You guys have heard me mention that three things that are extremely important on the wedding video side is lighting, video quality, and audio. And did that just do that? Anyway, audio is huge to me, very important. We as wedding videographers, we are there to get the cleanest audio and the best audio possible during your wedding day. So again, I'm looking at my Mac here, that's why I keep looking over here. I'm going to show you what happens behind the scenes. Many brides and couples don't do this. This is just part of what's called the post-editing process that I do. And I'm going to show you what happens here. So let me kind of give you a little background of what's going on here. This wedding was at a barn type venue. They had a second floor where the bride and her girls were getting ready. And then off of that second floor is a little balcony. And that area was the only place that I could find at the time to get audio from each of the girls, during the getting ready prep. So while each of the girls were speaking, I'm still inside the room shooting. But the only downside to this was the balcony overlooked basically the barn. So you had all the tables down there, you had the chairs, that's where everything is kind of getting ready for the reception. But the only downside is they are setting up tables and setting up chairs and doing all the staff's doing all that they need to do at the time while I'm trying to get audio. So you are going to hear a tremendous amount of noise from this particular clip, and there's a whole truckload of clips from each of the bridesmaids that are like this that I've had to go back and fix. So again, just part of kind of what goes on behind the scenes. It's part of what goes on with experience as a wedding videographer, because we will deal with situations like this. I've dealt with situations where the weddings are outside. It's extremely windy. I can take care of that. There can be inside certain venues, certain locations, the noise, any kind of banging or stepping, the noise echoes off the walls. So anyway, your wedding video guy or gal just needs to know how to deal with this. So having said that, let me jump into Premiere here and I will show you, let me get this screen recording going here. And I will show you what's happening here. So again, if you're listening right now, turn up the volume a little bit on your phone, tablet, through your headphones or through your speaker, because I want you to hear before and after of this clip. Don't really worry about what's being said per se, but just listen to all the tremendous amount of noise in this clip. All right, here we go.
I knew Dalton was the one for Katie when I first saw them together and saw just how weird Katie could be around him.
Again, listen to all the banging and slamming and everything else going on. I'm going to turn it up a little bit here.
I knew Dalton was the one for Katie when I first saw them together and saw just how weird Katie could be around him.
So like I said, most of the bridesmaids clips are like this. I was inside the room. I knew what was going on. And then there were sometimes I was inside the room and I could hear that going on. And I'm just like, whoa. But then again, at the same time, I wasn't really worried because I know how to work with this. And so having corrected this clip per se, let me show you what that clip sounds like now.
I knew Dalton was the one for Katie when I first saw them together and saw just how weird Katie could be around him.
What? You hear the difference in that? Let me play it for you just one more time.
I knew Dalton was the one for Katie when I first saw them together and saw just how weird Katie could be around him.
So again, don't worry about so much what was said, but do you hear how clean? Let me just stop this real quick here. Do you hear how clean that audio is? There's no pow, 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 pow in the background. It's just her speaking, and that's it. And again, guys, that comes from experience. Because again, in different situations, you need to know how to clean up audio the best that you can. You need to know how to deal with that kind of noise, with being outside. And coming back to what I said earlier, brides, that is a great question to ask your wedding videographer. I encourage you, whatever vendor it is, especially photographers and videographers, to sit down and meet with them and kind of drill them with questions. And this can be one of them is, hey, I'm doing my excuse me, I'm doing my wedding outside, or even throw this scenario and say, hey, I'm in a barn. I've got all this noise going on in the background, or you can say I'm outside. It's very, very windy. You know, how would you deal with that? And I'm going to tell you right now, listen closely. I'm going to tell you, if they tell you, well, I can fix that inside Final Cut. I can fix that inside DaVinci Resolve. I can fix that inside Adobe Premiere or Adobe Audition. If they mention that, that is a, you just failed. Because I'm telling you, those applications cannot do that. Not anywhere close to that degree. And again, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but that's just where experience comes in on the audio side for weddings, guys. So just wanted to point that out and show you this is a lot of what goes on with a lot of the weddings that I do. I'm very meticulous and very particular about not only the lighting, the quality, but especially the audio, and I want to make sure it's the best that it can be, and you know, correct any situation that I can when it comes to things like that. So anyway, guys, just kind of showing you some behind the scenes of what's happening with me when it comes to weddings like that. I hope this has been a great video for you guys to watch. I'm going to start doing more of these, more shorter videos, but I'm going to key in on things like wedding videography, wedding photography. I'm going to talk about the lights that I use. I don't use speed lights anymore. I'll go into that for weddings. Lenses, you know, there's all kinds of little topics that I've got that I want to address with you guys. And again, just more of a I guess I think like a Tech Tuesday or something, or a tech post talking about things like this. So anyway, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it's been valuable for you guys to watch, especially those of you who are looking for wedding videographers. Again, make sure you ask that kind of question. Hey, there's a lot of noise, a lot of sound, a lot of stuff going on during the ceremony with the officiant speaking, groom speaking, whatever. You know, how do you deal with that? So, all right, guys, you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you on the next VLOG. Have a good one, guys.